in the series of videos on topology. In the last video, we were proving this proposition. It says if X is the union of open sets, say X equals to union alpha belongs to I is the indexing set, U alphas, where U alphas are open, and we have a function f from X to Y. If we restrict this function f to each of these U alphas, that is f restricted to U alpha is continuous for all the alphas, then f is continuous. And we were trying to prove this theorem. So as a diagram, what we had is we have this x, we have this y. This x is the union of all these alphas, so 1, u1, u2, u3, something like this. We have y, and we need to show that this f is continuous. And to show that this f is continuous, we have taken a open set in your codomain, and we have to show that the inverse image of this v is open in your x. And for that, that's what we have written, that v be a subset of y will be open in y, to show that f inverse of v is open in x. Now for doing this, we are using our hypothesis. Our hypothesis says f restricted to u alpha is continuous for all alpha. So since it is continuous, that means it will be the inverse image of the open set will be open in u alphas. So inverse image of v will be open in u alpha. And now we have written f inverse of u alpha, f restricted to u alpha inverse of v will be equals to this, and for all x belonging to u alpha, this is defined to be fx. So we have this. So this can be written as u alpha, to take u alpha intersection set of all x belonging to x such that fx belongs to v, and this is nothing but the inverse image of v under f. So u alpha intersection with f inverse of v. Remember, our v is a open set in y. Okay, so since this is open, we can say that this implies u alpha intersection with f inverse of v is open in u alpha, because our left hand side is this, and this is open in u alpha. That means our right hand side is open in u alpha. And again, remember, u alpha, when you say open in u alpha, it is under subspace topology. Okay, so this is a particular set, this is one set which is open in u alpha. This implies by definition there exists an open set. Let us take u, v, w. Say w alpha in x such that u alpha intersection f inverse of v. Okay, let me go down. Such that u alpha intersection f inverse of v. This is our set. This can be written as u alpha. This is your subspace intersection with open set in x. So u alpha intersection w alpha. Right? So, and we say that hence, and also u alpha intersection f inverse of v is open in x. This is because of this. Why? Because this can be written as u alpha intersection w alpha. We know that already from the hypothesis that u alphas are open in x, and then we have taken this w alpha which is also open in x, and we have written this u alpha intersection w alpha. The intersection of two open set is open. That means our left hand side is also open. Okay, you can note those 2 points. Now we claim that f inverse of v is same as the union of alpha x, alpha belongs to I, and for each alpha we will get this open set in x. Right? For each alpha you will get this open set, and then you will take alpha belongs to I, the union of this u alpha x. So u alpha intersection f inverse of v. Okay, so if we say that this f inverse of v is equals to this, then we can claim that f inverse of v is open in X, because each of these sets are open in X, and arbitrary union of open set is again an open set. So our right hand side will be open set, and this implies our left hand side will be a open set. So this is what we want to prove now. So let us prove a claim. Since this u alpha intersection f inverse of v, of course this will be a subset of f inverse of v, and this will happen for all alpha belonging to I. So if you take any alpha, and corresponding to that alpha if you take u alpha, when you take the intersection with this will be a subset of f inverse of v. This is basic set theory. So for this happens for all the alpha, means if you take the union of all those things, union alpha belongs to I, u alpha intersection with f inverse of v, when you take the union of all these things, this is also the subset of f inverse of v. Now conversely, we have to show that f inverse of v is a subset of this union, and for that let us take a point, say let x belongs to f inverse of v. Take a point in f inverse of v. So if x belongs to f inverse of v, this implies fx will be in the point in the v, and also we know that x belongs to x. Okay, so now we know that this v is open and fx is a point here. This implies okay, we will take this. So since x belongs to x and x is the union of all these u alpha, that implies there exists beta belonging to I such that x belongs to u beta. Okay, and when you say that x belongs to f, the inverse image of v, that implies this is a subset of x. So when it's a subset of x, it will be x in x. Alright, so okay, so now since x belongs to u beta, this implies this x belongs to u beta, and u beta is one of the element of this union alpha belongs to I, u alpha. So what we have started with a point in f inverse of v, and we proved that that point is in the union. This implies f inverse of v is a subset of union alpha belongs to I, u alpha, and from both hence the claim, right? From 1 and 2 we will say that f inverse of v is equals to union of all those things, right? Now since, let us write a equation something for that, and let us refer that. The claim is star. Since RHS of star is open in X, because as we said each of the set is open in X, and arbitrary union of open set is open, so the union will be open. It implies right hand side of this is open in X, implies f inverse of v is open in X, and hence f is continuous function. Remember, we have started with our open set in our codomain. We have taken an open set in the codomain, and we proved that the inverse image of this set is open in a domain under f, and hence f is a continuous function. Right? So let us take some examples. For discontinuity. Example: let us take a function f from R with usual topology to R with usual topology. Let us define this function to be fx is equals to 0 if x is greater than or equals to 0, and 1 if x is less than 0. Okay, How is this? Let's draw the graph of this function. This is, if we have this x-axis and y-axis. So when your x is less than, when x is less than 0, if x is this side, then the value of that function is 1, constant. So it is like, if you consider that 1 to be here, then the value of that will be 1 here. And if your x is equal to 0, the value is 0, and if x is greater than 0, still it will be 0. So it is something like this. So another point you keep in mind that this at 0, this one is not included, so it's open, and here it is closed. Then if you see here, when you have the intuition for continuity, there is a break in this graph, and of course this graph, this function cannot be a continuous function on real numbers when you go for real numbers, this kind of things. Alright, so here we will use the definition of topology, the way we have defined the open set and continuous functions. We will show that this function is not a continuous function. So for that, let us take a open set in RU at codomain. So let U be open in R with U topology, that is our codomain. To take open set in codomain, we need to show that the inverse image under that F is open in our domain. Of course, by fortunately our domain and codomain are same in this case. Okay, there are different cases. Case 1. Now what happens is, if 0 and 1, if 0 and 1 does not belongs to you. So if 0 and 1 does not belongs to you, then what will be the F inverse of U? In our codomain, we have 0 and 1. So if you have a let me take something like this. You have, sorry, let me take it like this. Consider this to be our domain, and consider this to be, consider that to be our codomain, and this is our domain. Okay, what happens is, if this is 0, then all the points, this is our domain, let me write domain, and this is our codomain. So the way we have defined the function, for all the value, okay, at 0 it is 0, so 0 is mapped to 0, and all the other points which are positive are also mapped to 0, so all these points will be mapped to 0. Okay, and for the points which are less than 0, it is mapped to 1. So if we consider this to be 1, then all those points below the 0 are mapped to 1. It is something like this. All those points, you know that R is uncountable set. Okay, so all those points which are below 0 are mapped to 1, and all the points which are greater than 0 are mapped to 0, including 0. As we see here, we have taken an open set in our codomain. Okay, so we have taken an open set in our codomain, that is U. That open set may be something like this. It may be here, it may be here, it may include 1, it may include 0, it may include both. All those possibilities we have to consider. Now suppose that 0 and 1 are not in U. So consider, suppose our U is somewhere here. That means 0 and 1 are not in U. So what are those points in our domain which are mapped to this open set? And of course that set will be empty, because none of the points will be mapped, because all the points are mapped to either 0 or 1, and our open set does not contain 0 or 1. So in this case, let me just do this undo. Okay, so in this case what happens is, F inverse of V will be equals to empty, and this is open in R with U topology. Okay, so if 0 and 1 are not in U, then inverse image of that open set is open set, but only because of this we cannot claim that the function is continuous. because for continuity we need to check for all the open sets. So let us take case 2. What if both 0 and 1 belongs to U? That means your U is something like this and both 0 and 1 are in U. So what are those points which are mapped to the points in U? Correct? Of course, all those points from the domain are mapped to the U because both the 0 and 1 are in U. So in this case, we will have F inverse of U is equals to whole of R is open in RU because R is open in R. Now let us consider a third case. Because of these two possibilities, we cannot say it's continuous. We have to exhaust all the cases. So one case we have taken 0 and 1 not in U. Second case we have taken both are U. Let us consider let if 0 belongs to U and 1 does not belongs to U. Okay, so that means our open set is something like this, here and here. 1 is not in U. Then what are the points in the domain which are mapped to this open set? Of course, those are the points from 0 to infinity, including 0. So in this case, F inverse of U will be equals to all those points from 0 to infinity. And we know that this is not open in R with residual topology. So we have the open set in our codomain, but the inverse image of that open set is not open in our domain, and this implies F is not continuous function because inverse image of a open set is not open. So since this happens, we say that F is not a continuous function. Okay, let me give a exercise. You take a function f from R to R. Let us take f from R to R with, of course, residual topology, and you define that to be fx is equals to say 0 if x is rational and 1 if x is irrational. You check whether this function is continuous function or not. Okay, let's move ahead, and we have defined the continuity of a function. We said that inverse image of an open set is an open set, but we can go further and say that if you have a basic open set, right, we can define this definition by using the basic open set. And let us do that out over here. Say let us take that as a theorem. Let f be the function from x to y, and let us take this basis, say by, because we have two topological spaces, we will have two bases, right? So let us denote script b suffix y to be the basis for a topology on y. Topology on y. Okay, then f is continuous if and only if inverse image of B is open in X for all the basic elements which belongs to script by. Okay, if you remember, we defined the continuity of a function by saying inverse image of the open set, but here we are specific. We are saying that the inverse image of the basic open set. So those are the fundamental things. Okay, so let us try to prove this. This is very simple thing, and of course this is if and only if. That means there are two ways to prove this. So first, let us assume that f is continuous. Okay, so let us assume that suppose f is continuous. So if f is continuous implies for every open set, say A in Y, f inverse of A is open in X. This is by definition of continuity function. So this says if you take any open set in Y, its inverse image is open in X. But in particular, if you take a basic open set, because basic open sets are also open sets, this B from the basic basis is also open, that we have proved already. So in particular, if you take a basic element, so f inverse of B is open in Y for every basic open set B in script Y, and this proves our this part. We have assumed that f is continuous, and we have proved that f inverse of B is open for all for open in X for all the B in basis By. Okay. Conversely, let us assume that let f inverse of B be open in X for every basic element B in script Y. Okay, we have to show that f is continuous, and for this we will use the definition of continuity. That is, if you take the open set in in Y, its inverse image to be open. So let us take an open set in Y. So let V be open in Y. We need to show that f inverse of V is open in X. Now, since V is open in Y and the script B is a basis for Y, this implies if you take any point in V for all V in V, this by definition there exists the basic open set BV belonging to the script By, such that this V will belong to the open set BV, basic open set which contain inside V. This is by definition of open set. So if you take any V in V, BV contains inside V. So of course this will imply if you take the union, say union V belongs to V, BV, it will be contained inside V, and of course you can also show that V is contained inside the union by using one point, and this will imply this is equals to V. Okay, V is also open, that we also know. Now what happens to the inverse image of V? Now f inverse of V will be same as f inverse of union of, say, V belongs to V, BV. Now this is your task. What will be this? Prove that f inverse of this union, or you can show that f inverse of A union B is equals to f inverse of, okay, let me take the union because we have arbitrary union here. This is same as union alpha belongs to V, f inverse of BV. Okay. Now remember our claim. Our claim was to show that f inverse of V is open. Now we say that f inverse of V is open by using this. How? Since f inverse of BV is open in X for all V, this implies, let me take V, not alpha, V. This implies union, arbitrary union of open set is open. So this implies union of f inverse of V suffix V is open in X. And of course this is equals to f inverse of V. This implies f inverse of V is open in X. We have started with open set in codomain codomain, and we prove that the inverse image of that is open in X. This implies, or hence, F is continuous function. Okay, so to prove continuity, it's not like we have to take any arbitrary open set. You can be specific and you can use the specific open set over there. So that's what we have proved. In the next video, we will see, we will define the projection maps restrictions, and we will see what are the conditions on which or by which we can say that the projection maps are continuous. And also we will show that the composition of two continuous function on topological spaces is also a continuous function. So stay tuned, and if you have any doubt, you can contact me on this number or you can email me on this email ID. Right? So stay tuned and see you in the next video.